Peace and light, peace and love, everybody. I want to set it off first with giving a special shout out to my mom, Ashe, to her. Yesterday was her birthday, and she has been gone for 2 years. And still hard for me to believe that she's no longer here. My mom and I, we had some real love, we had some real lessons, some real growth, and I am forever grateful to have been her daughter. We had some really beautiful times together. So I say to my mom, it definitely brings me comfort to know she over there in the ancestor realm, kicking ass and taking names for anybody that would dare darken the doorstep right here. All right, yeah. Also, it is Thursday, fam, and all about that fire for justice ritual. We definitely want to make sure that we're lighting these candles on Thursday. We need justice in this world, in these streets, in this life. And so definitely light them up on Thursday. Y'all know I forgot that shit last week. Meanwhile, I'm telling everybody, and I forgot. But I'm on it today, though, and I'm back on point. We got a full moon that's coming up this Saturday, y'all. A full moon in Libra. Libra's that energy about that justice, that harmony, balance, and setting the record straight and making shit right out here in these streets. And all about what needs to happen. This right now, today, these few days that's leading up to this full moon, while that energy is building to full capacity, this is the time for us to be setting our most powerful intentions, because this energy will definitely be supporting that. Then when the full moon gets here, that's when that moon gets to its fullest energy and then starts to wane. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to release? What needs to happen? This right now is a powerful time to get with that air energy, that fiery Aries energy we are in right now. People getting motivated to get shit done, getting these gardens together. That full moon, of course, we know that moon is all about that water energy. And this would definitely be a powerful time for us to get those spiritual baths on points, light us up some candles and incense and everything. And whatever it is that you do, definitely let's get it going and everything. So I have the priestess here. I'm so excited, y'all, to introduce this very special guest that is coming on today to empower us with some insight and wisdom and light out here. She is live and direct. I wanted to stop and ask you quickly, do you got anything for this full moon going on right now?
Yes, I always, and hello, everybody.
Peace
I
and
always
light.
have, yes, thank you. Peace and light to you too, and Ashe, Ashe. You know, I never stop, going and aligning myself with the cycles of the moon, full moon, new moon, waxing, waning moon. All of those things just allow us to learn more about ourselves. And so when you follow the cycles of the moon, the earth, the planets, and the stars, you can't be anything else but, blessed, blessed and more blessed. And so, yes, I will be doing my rituals. Okay. I'll be releasing anything that is not serving me, my family, and all those that I love. Yeah. I put out my protection. Okay. Around, yes. Put my protection down for the month. You can't have enough protection against all harm, ill will. Yeah. And even that harm and ill will that we bring to ourselves that we don't mean to bring to ourselves. Absolutely. Our tongues and our actions. Yeah. But yes, I sure will. And I will be lighting that candle too. I know that's real. Yes. All right now. See, yes. And I'm glad you brought that up about us bringing that ill will within ourselves. That's all within the mind. And this energy, that Libra energy is air, and air deals with that mental as well. So yeah, this is definitely a powerful time for that. I wanted to get in before you introduce, because I want you to introduce yourself before we really get deep into what's going on. But I wanted to really talk about this sound healing thing and really how healing this is.
I'm super excited for you to bring this in. I've been inspired because I was working with 7 Secrets of Sound Healing with Jonathan Goldman. And this was some work that just really inspired me to start working with sound healing energy and everything. And when I heard your voice on the remix, that was some next level stuff. It was some vibration raising. I'm telling you, and I mean some healing, some demon casting out type of energy we had going on right there. And so I really want to tell you, family, that this right here is one powerful priestess that's coming to bless us with some definite insight and wisdom and some healing with her amazing gift. The gift is what the gift is what she was named, not because this is who she calling herself, y'all. Let's not get it twisted. She didn't just come and crown herself. Oh. This was a name that was declared upon her. And I'm so excited to bring her in. Please tell us who you are, what this is. Well, you told them who you are. Tell us what you're about and tell us what this is.
Yes, I am the gift. So many layers, And so, you know, I also, every day I strive to heal and to spread love and light and joy every single day. So I also work with kids, and I work with, you know, pregnant women or birthing parents. And so that's been my calling. You know, all my whole life, all I've just been doing is working with kids and just healing and inspiring. And it's really a joy. So yes, I got my name as the gift when I was, you know, 18, 17, somewhere in there. You know, I didn't really know the true meaning. I didn't come into myself yet, but you know, you reminded me of something just a second ago. I used to think my voice was like so much, you know, at one point in time. Wow. You know, like when I was growing up, everybody wanted to hear it, but then like got over there like, oh, it's so loud. So now I'm just not realizing. You just made me realize something. It's because it was really hitting them on a whole another different level.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely. And they may not have been ready for it. So, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I used to, when I had to sing, and I would sing in talent shows in college. This is funny, but I used to like to my boyfriend. I know all the little fans who I used to be like, let me go ahead and just do this for y'all. They're just a group of like, you know, boys follow me. I'm like, yeah, it's ma'am. But you know, I didn't know. I didn't know it was like on that level until I came into, you know, this work of just stepping into my priestessness, you know, yes. of really understanding that I have I have an agreement that I'm here to live out. And so I take it very seriously to continue to become better and to be my highest self. So yes, I'll be happy to share with you the gift.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I am super excited. Please, whenever you're ready, we definitely would love to get just a taste of this.
Okay, so if you all would like to just kind of get in a comfortable, you know, you can be seated is a little bit better when we're trying to do this breathing exercise. And, you know, Priestess, I have to say thank you because you were one that actually encouraged me to start recording. And so I'm keeping my promise. And look how it all turns out. I'm going to now you're going to see what I've been doing. And you all only been doing this for a little while, recording myself. Because like I said, I have to understand that my voice had power and be able to appreciate the sounds that it makes, you know, after, you know, people try to, you know, tell you otherwise. So here we go. Go. If you're ready, we're going to breathe together and kind of ground ourselves to prepare for today and to receive what we're going to receive. All right, here we go. All right. Uh-oh, here we go. Let me try it again.
It's okay.
Let's see, where did it go? Sorry, you all.
It's okay.
Here we go.
There it is.
It's It's time to take a moment to just focus on our minds, our bodies, our breaths, on relaxing and breathing. Here we go. Breathe deep through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Deep through your nose and out through your mouth. Of your body. Let it fill your body with love and light, joy and happiness. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe.
Wow. That right there was next level. I'm gonna tell you what I wish. I wish that I would have had this when I was working. So right before I pulled up, I would have been able to take a little bit of time to really collect myself and really get myself grounded and in the flow before I started taking off for the day. I'm here to tell you.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I can hear you. Okay, I was about to say I wasn't picking up any sound. Gotcha. So yeah, if this right here is a powerful tool when you are on the go, when you are about to prepare, let's say you're going to court or any other situation, you got those 2 minutes, that's a bathroom break, y'all. And really get yourself centered, focused, and bring that healing energy into yourself. What a powerful tool right here.
Yes.
A powerful tool. An energetic smudge right here, y'all. This right here is some dope shit to get. Where can we get us one of these? I need this in my life still.
So currently I don't have it out there for sale. You know, I've just been blessing people who want it. I've just been giving it to them. And, you know, I don't know if you guys know Inspire, but some people I can, you know, I give it for a longer length of time and it'll just disappear. And then some, you know, I can give it to you to keep on, you know, your computer, your phone, or wherever, your Google Drive, but I haven't put it all together. I have maybe about 4 or 5 songs right now that I've recorded. So I'm just gonna wait until I can get a solid album together of different songs with different vibrations for different reasons. So yes, I have one that's like 12 minutes long. And so it just matters on what you need. And so I play different songs for different purposes. You know,
it's phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you something. We'll stay tuned.
Okay.
Because I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know that you have been gifting people with those, which is awesome. But this right here is such a contribution that there has to be an exchange for this.
Absolutely.
There has to be.
Yes. I might need to just learn how to do one track at a time. Exactly what.
Absolutely.
I'll get on that. I will get on it.
Absolutely.
People
That
for it. So I know I need to move fast.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, like I said, you always have a platform here. So whenever you're ready to really share that whole gift with the world, we are here for it.
Okay.
Absolutely. I am definitely here for it.
Yes.
I wanted to move on to our next segment, the signs and symbols, because I'm telling you, I'm super excited. We're talking about the locus of control today.
Yes.
And yesterday, when I was in class, it is funny how these things begin to come into alignment, because we started talking about religion and spirituality. And I see a connection with the discussion that we was having and on the locus of control, because this is all about our perception about the causes of events that are in our life. And religion and spirituality kind of shapes our perceptions. So let me make sure that I'm clear, because I got to make sure that I'm checking in, because this show is really for those individuals that are spiritually expansive, right? And so we really want to empower us all to live authentically and confidently here. And so the internal locus, the external locus are some things that we really need to distinguish so that we can really start seeing some victory in our lives. Now, I brought this priestess here when I was talking to her, and she was giving her perspective on the locus of control and the work that she does with that. I knew that I had to bring her on. And for this discussion,
Yes.
please, sis, tell us, what does this locus of control look like for you?
Okay, so the one thing I did not tell you all is that I am a principal. I'm a school principal. So yes, this is a topic, a subject that I talk to many people about, and I use every single day. But absolutely right. It is about what is your perception. So for me, my perception of how my world works is that I manifest what I need. I manifest everything around me. So therefore, what comes to me, it has to be either something that is a lesson for me to learn from, or there is a silver lining that I need to see. There's a purpose and a reason for it. So when I think about the locus of control, sometimes, and we're talking about getting out of situations where you feel like there is just nowhere else to go. Like this is the worst it can get, or doesn't look so good for me. Well, what's your locus of control in that situation? You have to look for the silver lining. You have to look for those win-wins. What can I control now? Right, so that's like the external part. Okay, something may not be looking so great. I have options, I have choices. Some may not be the choices that you may want to take because you may not understand the risk, or there may be fear or hesitation behind it. But sometimes you need to make that choice. It's in your locus of control. And you have to trust that you are provided and given everything from the universe, that it will provide for you. So you can't move in fear when you make those choices that are in your locus of control. It may not be a choice that you can immediately see is the best choice for you at that point in time. Because if you are in alignment, you know that everything is going to work out and that you are walking the path that you are supposed to walk. So even if the path looks a little bit shaky or you're not sure, you have to tap into your locus of control. So since we're here, I don't know how deep we're going to go, but you may have to pull out your tools. You may have to talk to your spirit guides. I mean, when I talk about my locus of control, when I come into my job every day, I don't leave out of my house until I have put protection around myself. I thank the gods, goddesses, the rishas, the deities, my spirit guides, my ancestors, specifically my grandmas, because I know like they sit with me.
All
and
right.
So we're walking through that door together. And so that is a part of my locus of control as well. So then when the foolishness comes to my door, I know I'm not by myself. It gives me strength, it gives me power, it gives me peace. I'm not scared. So no one can come in and think that they're going, I'm just like, well, that's too bad for you because you don't know who's sitting behind his desk. But what's in our locus of control is everything, is how you look at the situation. Yeah. So where are we going to go from this angle?
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I wanted to talk about, like, within us, we got this need for approval. Yeah. And so we end up getting fearful. I'm looking for the right words. I'm kind of searching for them, of being labeled. And for me, with me working as a priestess, with me being spiritually expansive, and me really, I'm not going to even say trying, with me really living authentically, expressing the spiritual beliefs. Let me tell you, see, when I first got into this spiritual work, when I first began to expand on a spiritual level, I naively thought that because I have always been on the spiritual path, I have always looked for the righteousness in life, that people would think that the information that I came across was profound. Not so much. So, absolutely. And so I withdrew and got into this whole middle chatter, twisted thinking of to hell with them, kind of isolating and everything. And when we're talking about our locus of control, like, there was a lot of spiritual work that I had to do in order to heal that. This is what we call that kind of shadow work, because I really do a lot of work to help me to heal a lot of emotional wounding, right? And so, like, a lot of times when I'm feeling slighted, like, it wounds me deeply. And so there's a lot of work that has to be done with that. It's gotten easier. But can you give us an example of how we can use this to help in healing those relationships and instances where there may have been some emotional damage?
Yes. So, let's start with like a situation that a lot of people probably can relate to. So when you're in a relationship with a significant other or something like that, and they hurt you on a deep level, and you're thinking about, well, what's your locus of control? So kind of, you ask like two different things. You ask two different things. One of how do you use that relationship? One with how do you live out your authentic self?
Right.
Oh, so many things are coming to me. So somebody's in here sending me some messages.
I know. You got to unpack that.
Okay. Next first relationship. I will give you all a story. So my husband now, who, we've been married for way shorter than we've been together. So when I met him, he was listening to the remix, right? And so I would just be like, what is he listening to? Oh my God, I don't know what this is. I was programmed differently. I was, grew up in the Baptist church. You don't talk about, do anything like that. That's just not what you do. What are you talking about? So I was just like, I don't know how long this is going to last, and so, but I don't know. It just, sooner or later, I heard the calling, but he kept on, he didn't push it on me, so like, and sometimes in relationship, you want to push something on you have to let your partner be who they are. You can't go into a relationship thinking you're going to change them or thinking you're going to push your beliefs on them. So if it's meant to be, you will merge into be, you're still your two different selves, but you will come to the understanding of spirituality. So he teases me now going, you wouldn't be who you are if I didn't do, no, that's not true. This was my path.
Absolutely.
So, and now, I'm doing what I'm doing. He's just like, wow, look at what she became, but the thing about somebody out there that's listening right now is talking about that with their relationships. Don't force that person. They can't get on your level yet until they do what you said, is to heal themselves before they can even become or walk into their spiritual path. They have to first have their eyes open that that's what it is. It was an experience that happened to me that let me know this is real. This is what I am looking for in my life. And there was no turning back after your eyes are open. You know, so that's the one thing for the relationship. The other thing is that sometimes you can't reveal everything about yourself to everyone. So that's the other thing about the gift. I don't want to keep talking about it, but that's kind of like the symbol there. You know, maybe you're only going to allow someone to take one layer off of you. You have to protect yourself in that way, because people can only understand as much as they understand themselves. So if they're not there, they're not going to understand. How can you actually be able to know what's going to be the next step? How are you able to predict and see these things? How are you able to understand that? Because they have no understanding, no grounds for understanding. So when you share those things like that with somebody, they think that you're crazy. And then let's just talk about, this world does not really open up people's minds to even thinking that's real. I don't know if you saw the YouTube or TikTok or something. It's out there on Google, where they found the mermaid, or in Africa, but it's
what? No, I'm looking on. Let me write that down. What?
Okay, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny because the mermaid has this silky hair and it's like black with like brown tips. So they're like, this is not real. Well, you know what? So one of my friends who's very, very, very into it, I was like, look at this. She said, you know what they're doing? They're trying to make it look like a hoax. They're trying to make it so when we really step out there and we're able to reveal who we are and we're able to live in our authentic life, nobody's going to believe it. And so this is what we have to. This is why we have to be careful in how we navigate healing and helping people. So one thing you have to also know, that you can't heal and help everyone if they're not ready to be healed and helped.
Right.
So you really have to look at things and make those decisions. And you know what? If you're in tune, Spirit's going to speak to you anyway, loud and clear, on what you need to move, heal, and say for that person. They may not get the message, or they may not be ready for the lesson at that point in time, but in their future, their higher self later on, when they're able to align, they're going to say, I understand.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know if I answered your question all the way, but I know that, yes.
You absolutely did. And you really touched base on a lot of the direction that I was going in, because we get into this space once we start really trying to be more authentic in our expression and how we show up in this world. We start to reveal all aspects of ourselves. And when we do that, and we see that it kind of repels folks, just like the whole situation that I had going on, you get wounded and you start feeling that you were rejected. But it seems where you were going with that is that everything isn't for everyone. We have so many people today that have decided to live their truth out loud. I congratulate and applaud them. But then when they start to get into a space where undesired results at the end of the day, right? So we get the girls that's on Instagram and they kind of get revealing and they get a lot of likes, and then they get somebody that's on there speaking real raggedy and derogatory. We get someone trying to offer to pay them for sexual favors. We get there was some conversation on social media with, what is the, Lizzo, yeah, where she's been wearing revealing clothes and she's been exposing herself. And what her intention is, at least from what I'm feeling, is that she's really trying to help to empower women that are overweight, that start to feel rejected, that start to feel insecure. And really, she's trying to help them to heal that. But then within that whole process of her trying to help in healing that, she's getting the opposite result with that. How can we take our intention that's meant for the highest and greatest good and kind of balance that out so that our expression isn't one that's so extreme that we end up giving kind of the wrong, we end up getting the wrong result at the end?
Yes, I mean, see, the thing with with Lizzo, because Lizzo is somebody that I commend for saying I'm not going to lose weight in order to be a super mega star. I'm not going to live by the box that you want me to fit into. I also think Lizzo is highly intuitive, and she's not telling us that either. So, she's kind of stuck in both places. She wants to do two things. I don't think that she made her true intention be that one intention. She wanted, media attention for this, but she also wanted to empower. But it's the way that she went about it that her message was a little bit fuzzy. So that's the first thing. Be clear in what you are trying to communicate, and then communicate that. So, one thing that I've learned, like if it's hard for you to get those words out, or if it's hard for you to express what you want to say, be quiet. It's not meant to be heard by that person. It's not meant to be heard at that time. And like I told you all, I'm a principal, so I'm talking all the time. Sometimes I just find myself quiet. I have nothing to say, but is that everything that you wanted me to write down? I have nothing to say. But I've literally every day, like when I say rituals, that's one of my rituals, to anoint my throat chakra. And I'm saying, if it is not meant for me to speak, please, I don't want to speak any words. If it's meant for that person to hear it and it's going to actually be for the highest good, please allow me to find the words to form. And that is how I've started to navigate my world as a principal, because it's not an easy one. Everybody glorifies a principal, or either you hate school, right? So that's what I have to navigate. Everyone coming to me for the answers, or everybody coming to me because there's a problem. Right. So I have to be careful, because at the same time, when I'm supposed to basically be an advocate for the teachers, I'm an advocate for the students. And really, I'm more of an advocate for the students, because I, take it as my responsibility to make sure my students are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually safe. They don't know that, but that's why I'm there, and that's why I'm in that seat. And so sometimes when people see, and I live in a state, I live in Washington State, I'll just say that. So, African Americans, we are not nowhere. I don't know the percentage, but I want to say it's in the single digits. Okay. I would imagine. So, when they see a person, African American woman with some locks in her head, and my office, I have images of Black women, that's for me. Those are my mantras. Yeah. They're just like, whoa, okay, we're in Wakanda here. So okay. Right. And some people are like, oh no. So I have to, I'm telling you all, when we talk about internal locus of control, I have to really make sure that is something that I do every day, so that I stay aligned, and that I make a decision that no matter how crazy they may come at me, like there are some people that come at me crazy. And I have to say, okay, well, this person literally just has no understanding. And I'm not judging. Right. But I know where I stand, and I know that I intentionally keep my energy and my frequency as high as possible, so that when I walk into that building, that I don't have any attachments that can even attach to me unless they are on a high vibration with me.
Wow.
So when somebody comes, it's just like boom, 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 boom. It just bounces right off. And then I eventually get to the bottom of what they're angry at or with. And then I can go in to help them. But if I were to react to them, and you know how they say, come down to your level, now I understand. It means lower your frequency. I have lost all of my locus of control in the situation.
Mm.
It's done. You can't even use your intuition. You're using your emotions. So how are you going to be able to truly navigate that to the highest good? So yes, I'm telling you, you have to be mindful of your words, mindful of how you're using them. And I'm telling you, my rule is if I just can't figure out how to form a sentence, I go, never mind, I'll think about it later. Just come back to me, or I'll just be quiet. Just be quiet, you know? So I know that spirit working with me, locking up my throat chakra. I'm like, I got it, okay. Yeah.
I gotta tell, girl, that is so powerful. I think I need to review that over again, because this right here, what you talking, was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. See, when my throat starts locking up and I get a loss for words and I'm trying to explain things to people, or someone is asking me questions, and intuitively, I feel that they really are not going to receive what I'm going to say. And so I know what needs to be said, but for whatever reason, my mind freezes, my throat chakra blocks, and I'm still, you know, girl, I'm still running, trying to hold up. Give me a second. Let me think. And not realizing that this was my intuition telling me, stop, stop. You got to meet. And this was a lesson I had to really learn the hard way, because what I ended up doing was being very ineffective in trying to explain my point of view, not just with spirituality per se, but with anything any message that I may be trying to deliver at any particular time. This right here that you just gave was a serious major key right here. Because this was one of those blocks that I used to try to fight through. See, I used to think that there was something wrong with me.
Me too.
that I just had mental freeze, that I would just go into this anxiety mode where I just couldn't think. And I'm asking spirit to help me to overcome that block. And spirit's like, fool, I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah.
So that right there, that's a major key right there, fam. This is a major key. Spirit is really assisting you. Those mind freeze moments is a powerful time of reflection, is what they are.
Yes, and that's the reason for the ritual is because the intention. So I want to make sure that the intention is not because something's trying to stop me from saying what I need to say, right? The intention is that I need to be stopped when I'm saying something I don't need to say. So now I know that when I'm locking up, that's my, it's like everybody has to figure out how you are going to understand the signs and symbols that are being sent to you by spirit. So that is my way of understanding when I just need to be quiet. Or go ahead and keep talking. You might be saying something pretty harsh right now, but this person needs to hear it. They might be upset when they leave out of here, but when they come back, they're going to say thank you. Because no matter where I am, I'm doing my work. I never stop doing my work. And so, that's just like, that's how I'm authentic without really showing everybody what I do. Because let me tell you a story. I'm going to get off. So stop me if I get off.
Please, no, go, let's get it.
So, and I'm going to keep it in this school. My office manager, she, if you know anything about an office manager, they watch and they're at school with you as long as you're at school, like you walk out the building together and everything. They should be your right-hand person, right? So the office manager, when I first got there, I would say maybe I don't know, 6 months after getting there, she asked me, was I a witch? And I was like, what? She said, well, I want you and you do certain things. And I just want to know, like, what are you? And I was like, well, at least she knows that I'm not just normal, So, I just told her I'm a priestess, because that's how I explain it to people.
Right.
When, other people may say healer, a seer, I just say I'm a priestess, because I'm proud to be a priestess.
Hey.
So she knows that. So a lot was going on in the building this year, and I'm not going into it. A lot's going on in the school system, you all. And if I can say anything before I get off, you make sure you know who's in front of your kids at all times. Okay. Absolutely. They may not have a principal in the building like me that's there watching and checking and all of that.
Right.
So she thought she was going to use, I don't know what, on me, right? Because, I'm just going to say there's like dark energies at work right now. Right. And that's why it's so important for you all to stay in the highest vibration possible. And so they're attaching to people. Some people are in this Bitcoin and all this, and they're making this money, and now their whole lives are changing, and they're changing, but it's not for the good. So, there's, just craziness going on, but she put mirrors up, little tiny mirrors up all over the school. And I'm like, now, what is this? Now, this is how I noticed the mirrors, because I'm like moving at work. Something real hot was hitting my third eye. Hot. And I'm like, what is going on around here? And I see a mirror, because I told you, once you are really in alignment, those signs and symbols, you're going to hear it. It's just going to assist you all day and every day. So I'm like, what? So I look around the school building, the outside, she has mirrors. I'm like, what is she trying to do? But so I was like, she done opened up a portal around here. That's why the school and everybody's off the chains. So I asked her about the mirrors. And she said, well, no, I'm just trying to keep all the negative energy out. And I said, well, that's not what you're doing. So I went on the weekend, I took my sage, I took my Florida water, I cleaned, wiped things down, took those mirrors down and closed the dang portal up, and I put them all under her desk so she can have her portals in her own area. But what I'm saying to you all is that that's the reason why you don't always want to tell everybody who you are. Because Absolutely. They try to use it against you, even though they can't. They don't know they can't. Right. But she harmed everybody in that building. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. Birds were dying. Wow. Rabbits were dying, because people will try to use what they think is, the good against you. So you have to be careful. But she never did it again. I tell you that.
Wow. That's, absolutely fascinating, to say the least, that when you shared that with people, the potential blowback that can come with that. When we're talking about raising our frequency, it's what I know for sure, but I really want to have you really explain that to us, right? For our emotional well-being, we're coming in there, we're upset. There's some drama that's going on at home and everything. How important is it for us during those trying times to raise our frequency up? And if we don't, what is the potential blowback for that happening?
Yes. There are so many reasons and ways you can raise your frequency. And I know that, I'm not saying that I always live in peace and harmony and love. That is my focus, my goal. That is my intention, right? There are going to be times where there's going to be conflict. It matters on how you decide to react to that conflict. So you can make it worse, or you can be the higher person and actually be the calmer person of the conflict and be able to work through it. Sometimes you have to turn your cheek and just let whatever's going to happen, and then deal with it when, you know, when the other person is calm and cool. But so many ways to raise it. You know, music. Now, oh,
Yes.
okay. Hold that. You're gonna have to ask me that question again, because this is gonna take me. Music, but you have to be careful what music you listen to. Not go on. That's why I said gotta hold the question. Not all music is great for us to listen to.
Right.
So you know how they took hip hop and they turned it into something that they used against us. Once again, using something good against us.
Right.
So now it's at a frequency where it keeps us in our lowest vibration in our lower chakras. You have to be in all of the chakras at different times. You can't just stay in your low chakras.
Right.
Lower chakras.
Right.
And so listening to music that bring your frequency to a higher frequency. I know for sure, like you have jazz, you know, you can even just go on YouTube. Some people literally put the megahertz there. Yes. Yes. You know, your singing bowls. So like you use your singing bowl, and at the end of that piece that I played for you, that was a singing bowl to clear out all the negativity. You know, so dancing, singing, eating foods that are alive, not animals. You know, I mean, like the greens, your fresh fruits, your vegetables. Those are things you can do to keep yourself in a high frequency. And one that I find really being in water, okay, for me, because I am every sign of the water sign. I'm just water, okay?
Wow, wow.
And then being in the ground, being with Mother Nature. So there's a new thing that they're doing here is they're calling it forest baths, where you just go in the forest and you just be with the trees. You know, okay. So just things like that will keep you grounded. You know, so that's another way of saying in a high frequency, when you're grounded and you're in tune, because then you are not so quick to be like Will Smith and get on stage and slap somebody. Okay.
Wow. 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 That situation shocked the hell out of me, because I certainly didn't expect to see him do that. Now, I checked his book out, the one that he just recently put out called Will. And apparently he had some stuff where he hadn't been showing up for himself. That part where he was able to show up for himself, I'm sure he got a lot of satisfaction in that. But this right here is the lowest vibration. And when we do that, and how it shows up and how destructive that can be. And so today, and I think because see, we got so many people, and let's talk about this locus of control and what they call these rituals that's out here in these streets. Now, whether or not, whatever that situation with Will and Chris Rock, whether that was a humiliation ritual or however that goes, what I have observed on our television, the news, the TV shows that they're putting out that get you so emotionally spun that it lowers your frequency. And then you get into a space where you're kind of open and susceptible. And so this information that you're bringing in right now, Priestess, is just so helpful and so powerful right now. And that energy clearing, the sample that you gave us there, is something that is so needed in a time like this. Have you been able to observe like anything that's going on the television, especially with the children? Now, my children are all grown up and I have grandchildren now, but so I miss a lot of the shows that's going on there. But are we seeing the same type of stuff that I'm seeing just like on the news and just on like regular program, Grey's Anatomy, like, you know what I'm saying? I used to really get into that show, but it seems as if that was a show that was getting you emotionally involved because it's always highly emotionally charged. Yeah. And so with that, I'm wondering, are they doing this? Does this show up in the children's shows as well?
Oh, okay. So, for my kids, that's all I can speak for, right? I will not allow them to watch certain things at period. But then also, I won't allow them to watch certain things at certain times of the moon cycle, of how the planets are aligned, because I'm trying to keep them in the highest frequency possible. Because I don't want them to go out into this world and then be in a low frequency where things are attaching to them, and then you see depression or like your kids starting to change and they want to say, I want to kill myself. Because right now, I will tell you, this is my, I don't know, 19th year in education, but this is my 9th year as administrator. This year, we have done more suicide checks on elementary students than in all of my career.
Oh,
and when I tell you that they are drawing things that are, I can only say the word demonic, and I am just blown away. This is why I had to figure out what's going on in this building, because it just didn't match up. But it's the music and it's the TV. And so, you have to monitor it. They have even like little cartoons that look like little monsters, but if you listen to the words of the song, it is programming your kids.
Wow.
So you really have to be careful, of what you are allowing your kids to look at on YouTube or wherever else.
Yeah.
And it is a part of the plan. So my door open. It's a part of their plan. And so what they're bringing into schools now, okay, that they're going to start teaching kindergartners sex education.
Yes.
But it's not what, I don't even know how it passed, but kindergartners really, they don't.
What are we doing? Yeah, what's really going on?
Yeah. But it's things like you'll find books where, it's like two partners or two male penguins taking care of a different egg, or like somebody saying, I'm not a girl, I'm not a boy. That's not, I don't think that's what people thought they were talking about. Right. So kids are really confused now. Right. And there's no joke. They are truly confused about what am I, how do I fit into this world? What role am I supposed to play? And the bottom line is, because so many people are lost and they have no spirituality. They're either very religious or they're just here existing on materialistic things.
Right, absolutely.
So I will tell you that the cartoons, the movies, and all of that add to it. So yeah, my kids, they'll watch stuff like, let me see. Okay, weird, hey, it's my kids. Witches. Witches, like, you're like, why witches? Oh no, there's a lot of hidden secrets in those shows.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're learning how to use our magic and how to
Yes, absolutely.
Watch things like, my son likes to unpack Harry Potter. What are some shows? There's a show called True. And it's a cartoon, and she has her wishing well, and she goes and she has these magical things that come and assist her. And I'm like, those are the spirit guides. I'm teaching my kids to through things. We may even watch, and it's not we're not watching it for its purpose. See, so if my kids are watching TV, it's for a purpose, and they know what's real, fake, what's there to change your mind. That's what I teach my kids from day one. Wow. So when we watch something like, let's just say Cinderella, we're looking at the messages that they're trying to send to us, because I want them to know, even if your mommy's not with you, you're able to do this yourself. And you're able to empower your mind and protect yourself on what you want or to believe or not to believe, or whatever it is. But I want you to know they're putting all the secrets in front of our faces, but at the same time, they don't want you to know that you're powerful. They don't want you to know that mirror really works like that you can use that mirror to put a pretty spell on yourself.
Absolutely.
My kids they're something else. My daughter helped me to manifest the house we're in today. So That's how we use television. And so, you know, I want my kids to always come and ask me like, Mom, what's going on with this? What do you think about that? And that's the best way you can counteract all of this that's happening.
You know what? That is phenomenal. And I got to tell you, when my children were growing up, this was before the advent of the internet, the social media boom, right? And so when social media really started becoming popular around the late 2000s, the early 2000s, my children were like in high school and they were in that whole transitional age. At the time, I was so heavily involved in the church, and which I'm gonna tell you something, that was my foundation, and I have no regrets with that. Well, hold up, let me back up. Here's the regret that I had with that, is that I was so focused on making sure that I kept them away from Harry Potter, from learning about what I termed witchcraft at that particular point in time, that I was sitting my children in front of shows like That's So Raven, Degrassi High, and a lot of the shows, and I'm not saying that they were intentionally negative, but what I'm saying is that at that time, I was so heavily involved in Bible study, in discipleship, that I never stopped to take the time to see what the children's programming was looking like. And so I'm sitting back watching Netflix, like, holy shit, they was introducing my kids to all of this stuff. That's why they living out loud now.
Yeah, my kids will watch the Egyptians. Yeah.
Holy,
so that's so true. That is why, you know, they used to say, or they still say, PK kids are worse, because the pastor is saving everybody else. They forget about their own home.
Absolutely.
Run wild.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, like, I had no idea that this was, we say agenda, perhaps, potentially, it sure looks like it, but I know that those are really charged up words. And so with that, I see a pattern there. I see some connections that I can make, that there's been a lot of work that's been done to introduce the social status quo of today. And so now we're in a place where our children are being socialized to accept stuff, even if it feels wrong, even if intuitively it goes against what we think or know within us. And I think we're in a very unfortunate space, because now we have these tools like social media that wasn't as big when my children were growing up, but now my grandchildren are growing up, and this is what is influencing the thought process.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Very.
So here's what I say. These kids have cell phones, you know, they have access to everything, discourse where anybody can talk to your child anytime and it goes away. They can send whatever they want to this person and it goes away. And this is real talk, you all. Kids in my building were sending pictures of themselves to people on discourse.
Wow.
And I had to explain to the kids, you are underage. Do you know who that person is that you're sending to? They're thinking they're sending to other kids being cute and funny or whatever else, because they want to be like everybody on social media, you know, but see, that could have been a grown man. Now, when you see your picture out on the internet somewhere, you're going to understand how anything you put out there can be out there forever and you can go to anyone. But what I say to parents when they go, I don't know how to get into their stuff. I don't know how to get it. I say, so would you give a car keys to your child right now and say, go ahead and drive? And they say, no. Why not? Because they don't know how to drive the car. They'll end up crashing. Well, when you give your child a cell phone and you give them access to the World Wide Web and whatever else, that is what you just did. You just set your child up to crash and die. And that hits them in a different way.
Wow.
I said, so you're being lazy because they have ways for you to monitor and to lock certain parts and to do whatever on a device so that your child can have it for safety reasons or for whatever else, but they don't have to have access to everything. And then parents in the backbone and start saying, no, you cannot be on TikTok. No, you cannot be on that. You know, so no matter how much you try to lock those things down, they're going to put things in your child's face.
How about that?
But that's my message.
Yeah. That's the time it is. And apparently, you know, any parents that try to speak against that are labeled as being mentally unstable.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
But listen, this has been a very enlightening conversation, and I really want to thank you. Do you have any guidance or a message that's going to benefit us before we roll up out of here?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one of the cards.
Please, let's get it.
Okay, I'm going to show you all the deck I'm using, okay? This deck is, I might have to, see.
Oh,
I don't know.
I see it, right. I see it's the Hoodoo Tarot.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This deck right here, you know, I have several of them, of course. You know, but
I love that.
This right here, it not only gives the real, but it also teaches you about your history. Well, you know, from my history, I know that I was a direct descendant of a slave that was conceived by one of the slaves and the slave owner. And then when he died, his wife sold all the slaves. So we were in Arkansas, and then they sent us to a slave in northern Louisiana. And so we are still there to this day on our land, acres and acres and acres and acres of land. And that's how we got to Arcadia, Louisiana.
Okay.
So yeah, so I know that. So this teaches me a lot about what I don't get to learn or did not get to learn as a child in the public school system. But that's going to be another message I'm going to leave to you all. Don't leave it to anybody else to teach your child. You be your child's teacher. Don't be your child's first teacher and only their first. You be the first and the last. Okay.
I know that's right.
Stay in there with your kids because it is hard raising kids right now in the times that we have. Because so many people are pulling on them. They're pulling on their souls. They're pulling on their spirits. And you know what? We can't allow that to happen. We can't lose any more of ourselves to this foolishness. And that's why I'm lighting that candle tonight, for real. Because
I know that's right.
Yes. So, you know, no matter how hard it gets, no matter if they feel like, oh, you're in my way, stay in their way. Stay in their way. And right now, a hawk is flying over the window. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to pull a card just to guide us for this week. How about that? That hawk it's like I can touch it. Okay. Here we go. For this week. And you're going to figure out how you're going to use this card this week for your locus of control to create win-win situations. All right. So here we go. Here's what's popping up at me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right. This is tens of coins. Let me see. I might have to pull it back. Come on, it can in here. 10 of coins. I think you can kind of see the picture.
I can, yeah.
I don't know when the camera gets clear. Maybe.
Okay, yeah. When you put it back, I can see it better than when you move it up close.
10 of coins. And you see 10 of coins. This is a family here. This is why I'm telling you it's so real. This is great.
Is that the same as like the 10 of Pentacles in the tarot deck?
Well, this one is more about family and money.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So this is a family that basically stays together. They understand this is a family with all the money, but this family makes sure that everybody has. No one's stingy. No one's disgruntled. They're happy together. You know, so everybody has their gold coins around them, which to me is like their protection. You see it's hanging off of their necks, you know, so I wear big protection. You should know who I am when you come in and see somebody with a crystal that big hanging off their neck.
Hello, hello.
So it gets that real sometimes. But yes, that 10 of coins, that family shares and they're wealthy together and happiness and love and light. And so you know what? That's talking about the locus of control. Make sure you stay in control of yourselves. Make sure you take care of each other. Make sure that, you know, you are moving with your intuition and not with your emotions. So this in the book says, a happy, affluent family is spending time together during family game night.
Wow.
The coins they are wearing or playing with were passed down from generation to generation. Every now and then, ancient coins from as far away as Greece, Rome, and China are found throughout the United States. In hoodoo, you know, old coins are considered very lucky. And they are also messages from the angels that protect us. So when you find a coin, a penny, stop. What's going on? What were you thinking about? What's happening? What message are you supposed to get at that point in time?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is right on topic to what we were talking about. Spend some time with your kids, spend some time with your family, spend some time with your stuff. And you know, spend time. The coin, because you know, money is time, time is money. That's the same symbolism.
Yeah.
Spend time. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I wanted to just check in because that hawk that showed up, who's really encouraging us to pay attention to the surroundings that's around us, right? Then I pulled out my spirit, my animal guide book, right? And he's saying, stay alert and focus on the task before you, eliminating as many distractions as possible. Spend time observing and studying the situation. When it's time for action, make it quick and decisive. Check that out. The hawk showing up.
The hawk is showed up.
We can't make this shit up, y'all. That's what Brother Bilal always say. I can't make this shit up. No. Real talk right there. Real talk. But listen, sis, I want to thank you so much for coming through, for dropping some gems, some jewels in our lap right here. Thank you for blessing us with your gift. We will definitely be in touch because I definitely want to get some of those meditations, some of that sound healing. I'm loving it. And yes, I heard that singing bowl in the background too. That didn't do nothing but just bring it to another level. Yes. Yes. So thank you for your positive energy, your presence, and your wisdom out here in these streets, because
I love you so much.
I love you too, sis. I will definitely talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Love you, everyone.
Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Have a good rest of the week. I said, shoot, let me find something to get back on. Here we go. All right. I'll see you later.
Say what? You keep bumping me against the wall. Yeah, I know I let the side before. But until you see